Hello friends and enemies, welcome to or back to Happy For Now. It's me, Isabel, here with a Kindle Unlimited check-in for you. It's been since like February, so we're overdue. I read a lot of KU books during Love in the Night. I have returned things and done a bit of a shuffle on what I have checked out because I needed to. And now my oldest checkout is like October. That feels good. I'm actually reading one of them and the other one is on my TBR for May. So that should help. I've got some options here and I'm excited about it. I'm in a weird reading mood and I'm reading a lot of novellas. So some of that is coming from KU. So I'm like checking them out and then returning them. So I'm not checking out like the novellas as I go. I'm just checking them out when I get there. I read them and then I return them. So that has been really nice. And that is a portion of what you'll see here. And honestly, more novellas to come in the next check-in probably. I am trying to read a lot of novellas in April because I don't know, it sounded nice and it has been nice. So I only have 18 books checked out right now, so that feels really nice. I have like room for the novella reading I'm doing where I'm checking things out and returning them pretty quickly versus like fighting for a slot. So that feels honestly fantastic. I also am trying to leave myself 1 or 2 checkouts for some video projects I'm working on. Let's talk about the books I've checked out. First of all, we have A Love Most Fatal. This is She's the Mafia Boss. Again, I'm planning to read this in May. I might be doing slightly Mafia May situation for myself where I read some of the Mafia books on my TBR because I've got a couple on here. So we'll see. We'll see if the mood strikes. I think it's striking. I think we're there, but we'll see. Then I have Last Light, which I am like 40% through and I'm enjoying it. The problem I'm having is this book has the world's longest chapters and I struggle with long chapters. It's just such long chapters. And honestly, I just need to have Alexa read it to me so I can finish it. I like it. I've been reading it for way too long, but I like it is the problem. And I want to finish it so I can read the novellas that are set in this world because I think this is a really interesting dystopian situation. This follows a girl who's on the run, trying to get to the one of the last remaining bases, basically, and she runs into someone else from her neighborhood that like she knew. He's a good bit older than her, and it's their romance and them on the run. And it's been really good so far. Really good. Like really good dystopian. Because it's not, the cause of the dystopia is not really like current day possible, if that makes sense. So like it doesn't feel uncomfortable to read. Next we have Two Twisted Crowns by Rachel Gillig. I just got the audio back in from the library, so I'm going to be reading this very soon. I literally was just like waiting for the audio to come in at the right time and it finally has, so it's time. It will probably be in the weekly vlog after this next vlog that you get. So there's that. Then we have Threads That Bind Us. This is another mafia type dark romance situation. Again, thinking to put it on my TBR for May. It's been floating around here for a while and I think I just need to commit and read it. Next we have Close Knit, which book 2 or 3 just came out in. It has fencing and I'm really intrigued in, and like it ties together because it's brothers. I think it's siblings of some kind. So Close Knit is a soccer player and a girl living in an apartment that she like shares with a bunch of soccer players on the team, and she knits and ends up like teaching them to knit. May read a large portion of it. I don't know if she finished it, but I'm intrigued enough that I would like to try it. Then I have High Sticking the Heart. This is a hockey romance written by a dark romance author that I really, really enjoy and I'm really excited to read. I don't know a ton about it. I literally saw that an author I like has a very obvious pen name for these and is writing them kind of as palette cleansers, and I'm here for it, so I will be reading it soon. Next we have Holy Sinner. This is the sequel / finale to a duology about 2 serial killer actors and the writer for the movie. I need to just read this so I can finish the series. This is one of those like books where I really liked book 1 and then I forgot about book 2 coming out, which is why it's sitting on my KU now because I keep forgetting book 2 is out. So I would like to read it and see what I think. Then we have The Heir. This is a biotech billionaire romance, and sometimes I like a billionaire romance. I've seen good things about this one. I'm intrigued, and I'm also curious about other ones in the series, so I figure I should start with book 1. Next, we have Evergreen Ivy. This got sold to me on TikTok. Another mafia. Again, this is why I said we might be having a little Mafia May situation. This has a guy who's like a hitman or something at this coffee shop, and the barista keeps serving him coffee and he's very over-caffeinated, and it just sounds really funny to me as a setup, so I'm intrigued. I'm probably gonna try it. Next we have Face Off. This is a female and male hockey player romance. I'm curious. I know one of y'all read it and did not like it. And I personally do kind of shut my brain off on sports romances to an extent as far as being like plausible. So I think I might enjoy it. But there's more in the series that I'm also interested in. So I kind of would like to give it a go to see what I think. Then we have Spring Awakening. This is a black romance with rugby. And I'm here for that. I love a rugby romance. I know there's like a clip of some rugby players going around right now and love it. It's my favorite sport. I read a lot of hockey romance because you can't really get there's not a lot of rugby romance out there, but when I find it, I tend to eat it up. Next we have Keeping the Mafia Boss. This is the sequel to Kidnapping the Mafia Boss. And I have been going back and forth on, again, if I want to read this or not, and if I'm just done with it. So I think if I don't read it by the next check-in, it's leaving my KU, because I think at that point I'm obviously just not going to read it. But the girl like really badly kidnaps the mafia boss in the first book, and then they end up in a throuple, and this is continuing that story. I'm intrigued enough that I think I would like to continue it, but I'm also like, there's potential here for this to not be great. And then I also am frustrated because this author has combined everything into one. All of her books are in one or two universes, but they all interconnect. So it's like really kind of frustrating because there's too many books, and they're interconnected standalones almost. Like there are duets and duologies and trilogies of couples, but they all can be on their own and they all tie together. And when you make it too complicated, I no longer want to read it. That's how I feel about Zodiac Academy. Like there are times where I'm like, I should try it again. I didn't love book one, but it was a time, right? And I love having a time when I read a thing. But this is the same thing where I'm like, this is too complicated, and I get frustrated. Then we have Untethering Dark. This is the first Corinna Press monster romance, and it's by an author I've read before and enjoyed. And I really do need to read it. I just checked it back out because I didn't realize it was in KU, so I do want to try it at some point here. We'll see what happens. Then I have Labor Day Chronicles. This is the next one in the Lee Jacott series. Again, reading novellas right now. This is one of the novellas I have just chilling on my Kindle, and I'm probably going to read before the end of the month. Then we have Dirty Deals over Decaf. Same thing. This is like a monster demon romance novella. I would like to try it and see what I think. It's chilling there for me to read one evening. Then we have the 4 newest checkouts, which is A Rivalry of Hearts. I rechecked this out because I returned it at one point. I do want to read this. I can't decide if I want to read or audiobook it. I have the second one on audiobook, so I'm just kind of waffling back and forth, which is why I have it checked out again. But I am intrigued on this Fae romance, and I already own book 2 on audio, so I feel like I need to read it at the very least so I can read book 2, but if you have an opinion on if I should focus on the audio or if I should read it, let me know. Then I have Desire in His Blood. This is the Zoe Draven alien vampire romance. And I just keep getting people raving about the Zoe Draven series. So I'm like, is it time? I think it's time. So I think I'm going to try this very soon. Next we have a new release, which is Just Drive. This is an Omegaverse F1 romance. I don't know. I'm intrigued. How does that work? Feels like it could get dicey, but that's just me. That's just me in my opinion. And then last but not least, I have Played by Naima Simone. This includes the audio with KU, so I went ahead and checked this out because I am trying to re-implement the habit of kind of like palate cleansing with a sports romance sometimes here, and for 2 reasons. 1, it gets me through some of my sports romance TBR, but 2, I love them. And honestly, sometimes it's just what you need, so yeah, I saw this one was on audio and included, and I was like, oh, I need that. So here it is. All right, y'all, let's talk about what I have read since the last check-in. We have 10 books here, almost 11. If I just finished last night, but I didn't. I slept last night instead. It's fine. First of all, we have Saving the Beast. This is a cute hockey romance, Beauty and the Beast inspired, obviously. A lot of tongue-in-cheek references, but also kind of takes its own spin a little bit. I do want to note there is a lot of, there's some heavy content warnings with this one. So you do have death of a family, grief, and like sick parent as a big content notes here. Also like attempted kidnapping and abuse by a partner that they are no longer intimate with. But I had fun with this. This is a silly good time, right? Like, it is by no means a masterpiece, but it's one of those books where you can read it in an evening or 2. You're gonna have a good time, most likely, if you like a retelling inspiration situation. And you also are going to giggle at some of the references, I feel like. Yeah, overall, I really enjoyed this. She ends up tutoring one of the star hockey players to get him through his classes, and in doing so, moves in with him. And of course, there's like a forbidden wing and all these things in his house. And it's just really fun. There's some great like jealous possessive moments, and overall I had a good time. Then we have Sinners Anonymous by Sam Sketcher, which was interesting. I want to read more in this series. So everyone else is like a duet in this series, and I'm glad this book was not. But big content note here for dementia, because everyone is treating it like it's a spoiler, which it's the reasoning behind why she's agreed to marry this guy's uncle, and she ends up with the nephew. But I do think you need to know that going in, because if that's something that bugs you, like if that's something you're currently living, like that's a content warning you need. So this has dementia in it. Her dad has dementia, and it is, I laugh because it is a type of dementia that does not exist. I feel like the author took the idea of things that happen with dementia and turned it into its own diagnosis. So for me, it was far enough removed that I didn't care. And also for me, it was so silly, the setup of it. Like, I knew as I kept reading the book, I was like, oh, he has dementia. Like, I was like, the heroine's dad has dementia, like guaranteed. That's what's about to come out. And that's what happened. And I said, yeah, of course, I was correct. So I was not surprised I was correct, but I knew that like that was headed my way. So I wanted to make sure I warned others, because I do not feel like it was properly warned in this book. But yeah, this was just okay, but it was very readable, but super mediocre. I really am curious about the other books, because I think they're probably better. And that seems to be the consensus, that if you continue the series, it just gets better. So I'm curious. Then I read X Marks the O. This is a Faye novella, Valentine's Day E. I read it in February. It is cute. It's fun. It's kind of silly. But basically, he keeps going into this cafe where she works, and he has a crush on her, and she kind of has a crush on him. And he's not supposed to, because he's Cupid. And then they kind of go on this like whole chase, adventure, thrill, suspense, romantic suspense situation to avenge her, because her date partner sort of person, kind of not, like there's not cheating really, like she's just kind of like in a weird situationship. He ends up like tangled up with the mob, and Cupid and her go on this adventure to literally handle it. It's very silly, it's very fun. Put it on your TBR for next Valentine's Day. I had a good time. Then I read Leviathan's Song by Elsie Winters. This was really cute. This was a members pick, so I'm not going to talk too in depth about it. They got a reading vlog for it, but overall, I thought this was really fun. It's a this is what I would consider a cozy paranormal. You know, there is tension, there is plot, but it is not too intense, even though there is a lot going on. This follows a girl who does like magic with, I think she's like half fae, and he is a siren. He's half mermaid / half siren, half human. And it's their love story, and it's really cute, and they kind of go on this whole adventure to like help get this whole thing taken care of. And I'm really curious for book 2 and 3 in the series. Like, those are the ones I'm really excited to read. So, and some of the novellas, but I really enjoy Elsie Winters' writing. So for me, this just kind of hit that itch in the best way. Then I read Take a Chance. This is a really cute novella. I highly recommend. This is a second chance novella. They were friends in high school. He confessed, but she didn't realize he was confessing. Now they're on vacation. Well, he's in Mexico for a wedding. She's in Mexico for a vacation. He sees her again and is like, this is my shot. I have to take my shot. And it is fantastic. I thought this was just absolutely adorable. I truly had the best time with it. And I think it's one of those ones that if you're looking for just like a fun second chance, it's not like heavy second chance, right? Like they didn't like have some big breakup. Like they never actually dated. Romance, it was a good time. They were cute together. I enjoyed it. Then we have Jagger. This is a motorcycle romance situation. This is like the lightest dark romance I've ever read. There are dark themes in this book, but it is not like a dark romance, right? So basically she hits him with her car on her way home from Valentine's Day because she found out her boyfriend of many years was cheating on her. And she hits him with the car. He takes her to court because he wants to see her again. And then he wins the court case and he basically like crashes a newscast to be like, hey, call me. And it turns into her calling him and them deciding to get their frustrations out with each other. And then it turns into more light stalking, things like that. Again, very bantery, very like sexy times, but not that dark at all. Like at all. Next we have Faded to the Wolf. And this was really fun. This surprised me. I did that try chapter where I read a bunch of paranormals. And this was one of the ones where the first like paragraph I was like, I don't know. The first chapter I was like, I don't know. I'm curious enough. I'm going to try it. And I blew through this book. I stayed up until like 4 in the morning to read this book. Okay. So I had a blast with it, to be honest with you. And I think that a lot of people would enjoy this one. So Basically, our heroine is very into science and has like her doctorates and is like doing research on a disease that killed her mom. She's trying to figure it out. She thinks she has it. They all get called to this gathering because they want to help people, the wolves, find their mates. And this is just shifters. This is not omegaverse like that. This is alpha omega wolf shifters, not omegaverse. So do keep that in mind. So they get called together. It is like a popcorn read in a way because they get there. She sees the next in line, top alpha, and they have this connection, and she's like, nope, absolutely not. Absolutely not. And he's also like, I'm not doing this. So they have that connection, and they're kind of dodging each other a little bit. She's the designation of Psi, which is like an unknown kind of thing, / like the weakest. Like she can't fully stay shifted for long and all this stuff. So yeah. Anyways, it ends up being, of course, their fated mates, and it's their romance with a lot of side plot happening and a lot of interesting things happening. Book 2 is going to be a feral wolf and one of the friends in the group, and I'm very intrigued by that, so I will be reading it very quickly here probably. And I think the final book in the series I think comes out in May or June. So I'm going to time my read of the sequels closer to that so I can just kind of marathon the whole series probably. But I had a fun time. It's dramatic. It's over the top for sure. So there's that. Then we have A Curse of Fate, another one that kept me up all night. Another one that kept me up all night. So I read this one not long after the other one. This is also same thing. This is not omegaverse. This is just shifters. It kind of is giving very similar vibes to the EP Valley series that I like. So, but not like different, but similar. So she's an Omega on the run. She gets captured. She gets brought to a city that is kinder to Omegas in many places. She's on the run because her mom was an Omega and like severely mistreated. So she wants nothing to do with this. But the city's like, we're going to protect you. And then she ends up in like, of course, the most powerful pack in the city and all this stuff. And she's very defiant and doesn't want to deal with them. And like some of them don't want anything to do with her. 2 of our alphas are hockey players, so that's fun. One's a billionaire, one's like a tech billionaire guy. Like it's a very fun mix of personality types. So I love that when we're getting a why choose situation. Personally, I want very like different kinds of heroes. It ends in a giant cliffhanger though. So basically she moves in with them and there's a lot going on like politically and them trying to find out more about her mom. Massive cliffhanger, okay? Massive cliffhanger. So the final book in this trilogy doesn't come out again until May or June. I think this one's the June one and the other one was May. I can't remember. So I will not be reading book 2 until the week before book 3 comes out. So I can read that and then I can read book 3 because I've heard book 2 also ends in a massive cliffhanger and I'm not playing that game with myself. We're not doing it. So we're going to avoid the slump and just lean in and read it close together. Next, I read A Portal to Pleasure. This was so much fun. This was a fantastic novella. This is actually how I ended my Love in the Night reads. And I had so much fun with this. I truly cannot recommend this novella enough if you like monster romances. She basically has just quit her job, moved into her new house, is in her bathtub having a time, and she summons 3 different kinds of beings. We have tentacles and all sorts of things happening here. So that's fun. And that's them having a great time. And then we like 6 months-ish pass and we get our HEA and stuff. So there's that. Like there is an HEA in this and it's fantastic. This was so good. I highly recommend it. Then I read Incubus, A Sex with Monsters story. These are like 25-page shorts. Only book 1 currently is in KU, is the bad news. And they're all $2.99. And I checked the author's website and it does not look like you can buy like them as a bundle because I was willing to do that, but I'm not. There's enough of them that I'm not spending $2.99 on each one. A little too expensive for me for how short they are. But the first one was really fun. She is an older college student who ends up working as an escort for monsters. Our first book is her hooking up with an incubus. It was really intriguing. I'm gonna watch. If they end up in KU again, I'm definitely going to be reading through them. But also, like, I totally get why they're not in KU always. I thought it was a really fun, steamy time. Quick read. Also, 25 pages. You're gonna read it in, I don't know, 30, 45 minutes, you know? So, yeah, I had a good time with it. That is everything for my KU right now. Our next check-in should open with Last Light for my first book read. So there's that. But if you have checked out or finished anything from KU recently, let me know. Because I know I got Incubus from one of y'all. Yeah, let me know that in the comments. And if you don't want to do any of that, you can leave me a car emoji because I've been in the car all day today. We went on a little adventure and now I'm filming this to get it up for you. Yeah, so there's that. Yeah, so you leave me a car emoji because we were in the car a lot today. And yeah, I'll have links to all these for you down there, links to my friend anywhere on the internet, and I will catch y'all in just a few days. Bye.
Already packing, come with me. I'm not really asking. We'll get away to a place where we don't know. About to see the world in action, what we can be. Life with no distractions, we'll get away. This is what we waited for.